Hey guys, this is my module 1 for EDL 851. Hope you enjoy. So, first thing, just a little bit of background on me. I grew up in Norwalk, Connecticut. I attended UConn. I was up there for my undergrad, and I did my graduate work at Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut. I've been teaching at the high school level for 13 years. I'm in an urban school district in Norwalk, Connecticut. We have about 1,900 students. I'm also the social studies department chair. I've been in that role for the last 2 years. And my job is really just to kind of coach the teachers, make sure the curriculum is being implemented. I really enjoyed being in that role. I am also co-chair for the schools chapter of the National Honor Society, and I've been doing that for the last 5 years. And last but not least, I'm the boys varsity soccer coach. I've been in that position since 2007. Actually started when I was student teaching at the school, and the position just happened to open up and jumped on it, and I've been in that situation ever since. Next, a little more background on myself. I'm husband and father of 2 boys, a kindergartner and first grader, who also go to school in town. Just something, a little unique factoid, I guess. Both sets of grandparents, both parents, siblings, and now my kids all go to school in the same town, so they're going to kind of follow the same trajectory that I did as well. So I'm really invested in the school district, really invested in the high school especially, because eventually my kids will be there, and I want to make sure that it's set up and ready to go the way that I envision. Few things that I like to do outside of school. I love to travel. I've traveled Europe extensively. I've backpacked Europe actually twice. Each time I've gone for about 6 weeks each. This past summer I was in Italy, Montenegro, and Greece, and had a great time there. And then in terms of hobbies, love playing soccer, basketball, exercising, and most importantly, spending time with my family. And especially now, I've had a lot of quality time with the family. Okay, so let's get into really the crux of the assignment. So, developing a collaborative professional culture and focusing on improvement. So for me, I think relationships and trust is really the most important between administrators and staff. I've been in a school where we've had quite a bit of turnover with administrators, and I think the administrators that have had success and really brought, true changes to the culture of the school, they really took the time to develop that relationship with the teachers, and there's a sense of trust there that what they were doing was going to help. And then the administrators that didn't last and didn't work, a lot of them just kind of made decisions on the fly and never consulted anybody. And there was never any kind of buy-in to any of the new initiatives that they were trying to roll out. And I think the buy-in aspect is huge. Like, if you don't get staff to buy in, then kids aren't going to buy in. So you really need to have a collaborative approach and really find those leaders within the school, get them together, and really kind of get them to buy into what you're trying to do. And then you can disseminate that information out to everybody else. Technology is huge. I think when you look at improvement, technology changes so vastly that we have to be at the forefront of some of those changes with technology and really implement that. And I know, like my school district, we're huge on Google, and that starts from when they enter elementary school all the way through. And all the different tools that Google offers, I mean, it's really just amazing. It totally changes the educational process. And then I think you have to stop several points along the way and look at and truly reflect and be honest when you reflect on successes and failures, because there are going to be both. And what's not working, you got to figure out what are solutions to that and continue moving forward. And what is working, try to keep that going and sustain that success. Next thing is retention. I think this is huge when you talk about a school. I think first and foremost, staff has to feel like they're valued and respected. That starts from the top down. You have to make sure that your staff is heard. So whether that be surveys, whether that be face-to-face going around and communicating with your staff and finding out what they like, what they don't like, things that they would change or implement, I think that's important. And when staff feels like they're valued, they're going to want to stick around. They're going to have more buy-in and a bigger investment in the school. The next thing is structure. I think it's very important that the school is run by the administrators and the staff and not by the students. And what I mean by that is, like, you have to have the structure in place where the expectations are clearly set and the students know what their role and responsibilities are, along with teachers, along with administrators, and then providing a support system so that everybody can thrive within that. And then the next one, providing new challenges to staff. I think sometimes people can get kind of bland and stuck in their ways, but I think it's important, whether that be the opportunities to move up in leadership positions within the school or maybe even teaching new classes. I think new challenges keep people motivated. And then the next one, I think my school does a great job of this, collaborative teams. So collaborating with people within your department, but also interdisciplinary collaborative teams. So you're open to different ideas, different ways of doing things. And then team building. I think doing that over the course of the year, whether that be at faculty meetings or in other venues, really getting people together that wouldn't get together otherwise. And then the last one is providing effective and meaningful professional development. We have to continue to grow as teachers and as a staff, and making sure the right people are coming in, and it's not just checking off a box that we did it, but actually having meaningful and effective professional development. And then learning, again, meaningful and professional development. Like, make sure, maybe poll your staff, poll your teachers, and find out what they would want to know more about. So, for example, my school did that last year, and we spent an entire day on Google and just looking at all the different aspects and elements of Google that we have within our Drive and how we can use that and implement that in our class. It was really the best professional development we could have done and really have done in recent memory. Next one is collegial observations. Get out, see veteran teachers, see what works, see what you can, beg, borrow, and steal from other people. And that's how you become a better teacher. Collaborative teams, again, it's a great way to get open to new ideas, different ways of doing things. And the last one, we started doing this a couple of years ago, and I really enjoy it. Getting out and visiting other schools and seeing some of the best practices that they use. We recently did this at a school whose SAT scores jumped tremendously over the last 2 years, and just kind of seeing some of the things they did and seeing what we can implement and bring back to our school was really important. Well-being, again, I think if relationships and trust, if you have that support system, you have that structure, and expectations are clearly set from the top down, that's going to eliminate a lot of stress and anxiety, and I think that's really important when you're trying to build that culture. Now, in terms of relationships, the first two were articles that were posted, and I just thought that they were really kind of hit home to the point of what the relationship aspect is and what that means. But bottom line is, if you have positive working relationships, there's going to be that element of trust. People are going to enjoy their job. They're going to be more productive. They're going to want to be there. They're going to want to implement change, and that's very, very important. Getting back to trust, this is something that's established over time. It's based on actions. It's based on interactions, experience. So you're not going to have somebody come in day one and already they're going to have that level of trust between administrators and staff. You really have to go out of your way and invest the time. I think that's a key part, investing that time. And over that time, when that level of trust is there, you will have open and honest communication. There will be that mutual respect where you can have open dialogue and honest dialogue, and that's where change is going to be enacted. And then well-being, I look at this as really a top-down approach or trickle-down approach, where if the staff is happy and the well-being of the staff is there, then that's going to trickle down to the students, and then that's really going to create the positive school culture that everybody's thriving or striving for. To me, that's the way I look at it. And then the last one, educational success of students and adults. Again, it goes back to that trickle-down approach. I think if we all feel like we're valued, if we all feel like we have a say in the educational process, then we're going to feel like we're supported and that we can take chances and take risks and still develop and reach those personal goals. And all of us have our own goals, whether it be students or adults. I think it really will set the environment that we want that's conducive to that growth and that development. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and have a great day and stay safe.